Faded in this dark and smoky room, with your face reflecting bright green, brights and blues. You know I can't go on to disappear.
What's going on? It's Sean, back at it again. Today we're going to be talking about a few tips on how you can increase your self-love.
Nerf this!
In this video, I'm going to give you 3 simple tips on how you can learn to love yourself that you can apply today. With that being said, loving yourself is super important, because if you don't love yourself, no one else will love you. It's like I would tell any young athlete, if you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in you either. So the first thing I want to say is there's no one better than you, there's no one worse than you. Inside, we're all the same. If you take a picture of my heart, your heart, and your neighbor's heart, they're all going to look exactly the same. So why not you? Why can't you love yourself? There's something going on internally that's not allowing you to love yourself. So this is where I start with the mindset. And this is a recurring theme in all of my videos, because I truly believe everything does start with your mindset and with your mind. You need to get right on the inside before the outside will correct itself. There's been plenty of times in my life where I looked in the mirror and hated who I saw looking back at me, and it's taken a lot of work to get where I'm at right now, so I know what you're going through. So going back to mindset, you have to first become aware of your toxic thoughts. Any negative self-talk you have going on, you have to realize when it's happening. So that's the first thing. Be conscious about what you're thinking about. If you see someone doing something that you want to do and you say, oh man, that's awesome, he can do it, but I never could. No, you stop it right there. You say, wait a second. No, I do not accept that thought. If he can do it, I can do it. Or if she can do it, I can do it. So the first step is to definitely become self-aware of those negative thoughts and that negative self-talk that comes into your mind. And once you can correct that, everything else starts to shift and change. So that's number 1. Become self-aware of those negative thoughts, of that negative self-talk, and immediately replace it with a positive self-talk or a positive thought. And with that being said, where attention goes, energy flows. So if you're always thinking about the negative aspects and you have all this negative self-talk, negativity will keep appearing in your life. It'll keep reoccurring. So whatever you focus on is going to keep cycling over and over and over again in your life. So again, become aware of those negative self-thoughts, replace them with positive self-thoughts, and even if you don't truly believe it right now, you have to start realizing, listen, I'm worth more than this, and even though I'm saying this out loud, I may not believe it, but I believe in myself, and I love myself to know that I can grow into the thoughts that I'm putting into my brain. So definitely believe in yourself first. Become self-aware of that negativity and replace it with positivity, and positive things will happen. So right now, I'm just running a few errands. I just stopped here to film this. It's a beautiful day. I'm so excited that the weather is finally turning around in Boston. This is like, I don't know, day 5 of beautiful sunshine weather, but I'm sure you can hear my nose is all congested and my allergies out. I can't even remember the last time that I had allergies this bad, so I'll take it though. I'll take a little sniffles over rain and snow any day of the week. I got a few more things to do. Let's get going.
But I don't think that is what I would usually do. You know, it's just like I felt the heat the moment he pressed his lips up against mine. Don't wanna fuck this whole thing up like I do every time.
So number 2 is to get rid of toxic people. I know this is a lot easier said than done, especially when those toxic people are your family. And the first step to removing those toxic people are to identify who they are. Now, the way that I do this is I always ask myself after an interaction with anyone, after I'm done conversating with them or I've hung out with them, I say, how do I feel? How did I feel in that moment when they were with me? Did I feel good? Did I feel bad? Did they leave making me feel better about myself? Did I feel worse about myself? Those are just a couple of questions you can ask to identify how other people are making you feel. Now, with that being said, again, it's a lot easier said than done, but in order to love yourself and make yourself feel valuable, you have to identify situations that are making you feel less worthy or where you don't love yourself? Is this person a bad influence on you? You want to surround yourself with good people who love themselves, because misery loves company. So if you identify with 5 miserable people, you're going to be the 6th. On the other hand, if you identify with 5 people who love themselves, who are worthy, who feel that they're worthy, you're going to be the 6th. So as you can see, I stopped by the water. It is just too gorgeous out not to enjoy the day right now. So I had to stop and smell the roses. So I'm gonna sit here for a minute, enjoy this weather, and then we're off to the races. So I had to stop at Dunkin's, as you can see. And while I was inside, I bumped into a guy from, I think it was Ireland, maybe. But he was asking me. He's like, you must be from Boston. And we're not in Boston right now. We're in Quincy. And I was like, no, I work in the city. You know, my office is in the city, but I don't live there. I live here on the South Shore. He's like, what's the South Shore? And I was like, well, it's where you are right now. You know, Quincy, Abington, Weymouth, and just naming all the South Shore towns. And he goes, oh. And I was like, yes, I'm from Boston. We're all from Boston. If you're from Massachusetts, you're from Boston. I just think it's funny, like, if you're not from Massachusetts and you don't know any other city besides Boston, you have no idea Massachusetts is even a thing. It's just like, it should be the state of Boston. It's just so much easier to, like, tell people I'm actually from Boston than it is to explain that, you know, I live just outside the city. I live a couple exits away. But, yeah. Just always think it's interesting, you know, getting the outside perspective on Massachusetts. Caffeinated up. Let's keep it rolling. So tip number 3 is to celebrate your small wins. So adversely from tip number 1, become aware of your toxic thoughts. You want to celebrate the things that you do right. So obviously you want to celebrate your wins within reason. You don't want to go have this massive 20,000 calorie day if you've dieted well for 1 week. However, I think you're justified in having, you know, 1 beer or 1 candy bar or something along those lines to celebrate that hard week of dieting. Now, obviously, you can be a lot more strict than that. You can not celebrate for a whole month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever your goals are. But I think more importantly, the thing is to make sure you celebrate within reason. And I did a whole video on small wins. I'll put it up in the top right corner right now. So with that being said, you want to celebrate the things that you do right. So when you're practicing self-love, or you feel worthy, or if you feel in a positive mood, you want to reinforce that feeling. And we do that by acknowledging the state that we're in or the things that we've done well. So I hope I didn't ramble too much there and you understand that you want to recognize not only the things that you're doing badly, like we discussed in tip number 1, but also, just as importantly, you want to reinforce the things that you're doing well and when you're in a state of self-love or loving yourself or when you feel worthy. Tip number 3. And I'm feeling generous, so I'm going to give you a bonus tip. But first, I got to go to the store and get my mom a card because Sunday is Mother's Day. Let's roll. Bag is secured. Got the cards for my mom and my sister. We're going to get one for Lily's mom a little later on. Lily wanted to be there to pick it out. Don't blame her. But I got my mom taking care of my sister. So one more mother to take care of. And then we done. So the day kind of got away from me. At least the sun's back out now. So I'm gonna wrap up the video here, and I don't forget about that bonus tip. So the bonus tip I have for you is to go off the grid. And basically what I mean when I say that is get off of social media. Not forever, but take a break. Lily did this just recently for the wedding. She took a break from Instagram, Snapchat, all those social media platforms, just so she could focus on the wedding. And although her reasons were different for going off the grid, it really is like a refreshment. It's like a little reboot on, you know, how addicted we get to our phones and to the internet. And I'll never forget the time we went up to Bar Harbor, Maine. If you've never been, I highly recommend it. It's absolutely beautiful up there, and definitely worth it. So we were up in Bar Harbor, and I had no cell phone service, so I had no service, no connection to anywhere, I couldn't make a call, text, obviously no internet, no Wi-Fi. And honestly, it was one of the most relaxing, refreshing vacations I've ever been on. When you don't have that vice there to go and be on and, you know, indulge in all the time, you have no choice but to act like it was back in the day. So it was like being a kid again. It was amazing. Anyway, why do I say this? Because when you go off the grid, you stop comparing yourself to everyone else. And we all do it, myself included. And I honestly get frustrated when I do this because, like I said, we all do it. And when I compare myself to someone who's younger and more successful than me, I'm like, damn, I should be so much further ahead than I am right now. Or if I see someone who's only been working out for a year and they have way more gains than I do, I get frustrated and say I should be so much further ahead. When you do this, it makes your self-love and your self-worth drop. When you got to understand everyone has their own circumstances and their own journey, their own path. So even though I know to say to not compare yourself, it's hard. I know it is. I do it, you know, and I get it. It's easier said than done, but you got to realize that what you see on social media is someone else's highlight reel. And what you're seeing in the mirror is your raw, unedited documentary. So take that for what it's worth. When you go on Instagram and you see your favorite Instagram model, you know, shredded, six-pack, lean, just know that obviously that person's going to put up the best possible photo of themselves and not, you know, some triple chin sitting down with the gut hanging out picture, you know? So get off the grid, stop comparing yourself to others, and you'll see that self-worth, that self-love improve. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Sean. In each and every video, I do try to make you the best version of you. I do release videos every Monday to get your week going and every Friday to get your weekend started. I also do release bonus videos at random, so make sure you got your post notifications turned on so you won't miss a thing. Thank you so much for watching again. I do appreciate your support. Catch you next time. Signing off.